Welcome to Module 3, Secured Credit Cards. This is the final piece of our 3-step foundation, and it's going to give you something that credit boosters and credit builder loans can't: revolving credit history. Now, I need to clear up some confusion right away because secured credit cards get mixed up with other financial products all the time. A secured credit card is not a debit card. It's not a prepaid card. It is a real credit card that reports to all 3 credit bureaus just like any other credit card. Here's what makes it secured. You put down a security deposit before you can use the card. That deposit becomes your credit limit. So if you put down $500, you get a $500 credit limit. But here's the crucial difference from a debit card. When you make purchases with a secured credit card, you're not spending your deposit money. You're spending on credit, and then you need to make monthly payments just like any other credit card. Think of the security deposit like a security deposit on an apartment. The landlord holds onto it in case you damage the place. But you don't pay rent from that deposit. You still pay rent separately every month. Same concept here. So let's say you have a secured credit card with a $500 deposit and a $500 credit limit. You buy $200 worth of groceries and gas during the month, and at the end of the month, you get a credit card bill for $200 that you need to pay, just like any other credit card. Your $500 deposit just sits there. You don't touch it unless you choose to close the card or the bank needs to use it because you stopped making payments. And here's why this matters for your credit. Every month that you make your payment on time, it gets reported to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion as positive payment history on a revolving credit account. And here's the beautiful thing about secured credit cards. You're almost guaranteed to get approved. Why? Because the bank has your deposit as collateral. If you stop making payments, they can use your deposit to cover what you owe them. This means secured credit cards are perfect for people who can't get approved for regular credit cards yet. The bank isn't taking much risk, so they don't need to see perfect credit to approve you. Let's talk about some realistic expectations. Most secured credit cards require a minimum deposit of $200 to $500, though some go as low as $49 and others allow deposits up to $5,000 or more. The key to building credit with a secured card isn't about spending a lot of money, it's about showing consistent, responsible use over time. You could charge just $30 a month for gas and pay it off, and that's still positive payment history being reported to the credit bureaus. I know some people feel weird about paying to get a credit card because of the security deposit, but remember, that deposit isn't gone forever. When you close the card in good standing, or when many cards graduate you to an unsecured card, you get that deposit back. Think of it as an investment in your credit score that you'll get refunded later. Costs, features, and strategy. All right, now let's get into the practical details. What secured cards cost, how to use them strategically, and how to maximize their impact on your credit score. First, let's talk about cost because this is where you need to be careful. Not all secured credit cards are created equal. The security deposit is obvious. That's usually $200 to $500 to start, but there are other fees to watch out for. Annual fees can range from $0 to $99. Obviously, you want to avoid annual fees if possible, especially if you're just starting to build credit. Some cards charge monthly maintenance fees. Avoid these completely. There are plenty of secured cards with no monthly fees. Application fees or processing fees are red flags. Legitimate secured cards shouldn't charge you just to apply. The good news is that there are several excellent secured cards with no annual fees and no monthly fees. Your deposit and your monthly payments are all you should be paying. Now, let's talk about credit limits and how much you should deposit. Here's my recommendation. Start with whatever minimum deposit gets you approved, usually $200 to $500. Why start small? Because you want to prove that you can manage the account responsibly before putting more money at risk. You can always add to your deposit later to increase your credit limit. Here's where strategy becomes really important: credit utilization. This is the percentage of your credit limit that you use, and it's 30% of your credit score. You want to keep your utilization below 30%, but ideally below 10%. So if you have a $500 credit limit, try to keep your balance below $50 when your statement closes each month. Let me give you a specific strategy that works really well. Use your secured card for one small recurring expense like a Netflix subscription or your phone bill. Set up an auto pay to pay the full balance every month. This gives you consistent, low utilization, and perfect payment history with minimal effort. Here's a timing trick that many people don't know. Your credit utilization is calculated based on your statement balance, not your current balance. So let's say your statement closes on the 15th of each month. If you paid down your balance before the 15th, your statement will show a lower balance, which means lower utilization reported to the credit bureaus. For example, if you spend $200 during the month, but pay $150 before your statement closes, your statement will only show a $50 balance. That's 10% utilization on the $500 limit instead of 40%. As for how much this will help your credit score, most people see increases of 20 to 40 points within the first 6 months of responsible secured card use. Combined with your credit booster and your credit builder loan, you're looking at significant improvement. The key is forming good habits from day one. Pay your bill on time every month. Keep your utilization low and don't close the account once you get approved for unsecured cards. Length of credit history matters, so keep your oldest accounts open. Best secured card options. Now let's talk about which secured cards I actually recommend. I'm going to give you some specific names and explain why these are your best options, but obviously check with each of these companies as the terms may have changed. First, the Discover It secured card. Here's why it's fantastic. No annual fee ever. Your deposit can be as low as $200, but here's the kicker. It earns cashback rewards just like a regular credit card. You get 2% cash back at gas stations and restaurants on up to $1,000 in combined purchases each quarter and 1% on everything else. Even better, Discover matches all the cash back you earn in your first year, so if you earn $50 in cash back, they'll give you another $50 as a bonus. Plus, Discover automatically reviews your account for a graduation to an unsecured card. Many people get upgraded within 8 to 12 months and get their deposit back. Another one is the Capital One Secured MasterCard. Also, no annual fee, minimum deposit of $49, $99, or $200 depending on your credit worthiness. Capital One also reviews accounts for graduation, and they have a good track record of increasing credit limits over time. The card doesn't earn rewards, but it's solid and reliable. And if you want to build a relationship with a major bank, the Bank of America secured credit card is worth considering. There's no annual fee, the minimum deposit is $300, and if you're already a Bank of America customer, you might get slightly better terms. Now, let me tell you which secured cards to avoid. Stay away from Credit One cards. They have higher fees and some complaints about customer service. The marketing looks appealing, but make sure you read the fine print. And avoid any secured card with an annual fee over $39. There are too many good options with no annual fees to justify paying more. Be very cautious of any secured card that charges application fees, has monthly maintenance fees, doesn't report to all 3 credit bureaus, and doesn't offer a path to graduation to unsecured status. Here's my application strategy. Apply for the Discover It Secured first. If you're not approved, try Capital One Secured. Between these two, almost everyone gets approved for at least one. You should hear back within a few business days. Once approved, you'll need to send your security deposit, usually within 14 days, and then you'll receive your card and you can start building credit immediately. Remember, the goal isn't to keep the secured card forever. The goal is to use it responsibly for 8 to 12 months, build your credit score, and then either graduate to an unsecured version or qualify for better unsecured cards. Start with one secured card. Don't apply for multiple cards at once, as that can hurt your credit score with too many hard inquiries. Master one card first, then expand your credit later when you're in a stronger position. So, that brings us to the end of our 3-step system. Now you have the knowledge to implement credit boosters, credit builder loans, and secured credit cards. These 3 strategies will create a solid foundation for your credit rebuilding journey. In our next module, we'll talk about putting it all together with a timeline and expectations for your progress. But first, take action. Research the secured credit cards I mentioned, choose one that fits your situation, and get your application started. The sooner you start making those on-time payments, the sooner your credit score starts improving. I'll see you in Module 4.